There's a feeling many dog owners recognize instantly. You're sitting quietly, maybe working, maybe eating, and then you feel it. You look up, and your dog is staring at you, focused, still, patient, as if waiting, as if watching, as if trying to understand something you haven't said. And the truth is, that's exactly what they're doing. Because according to experts, dogs don't stare randomly. They stare for a reason. By the way, welcome to Doggy Hacks. If you are new here, subscribe right now. What we are about to cover changes everything. In fact, most of the time, your dog is either trying to communicate with you or waiting for you to communicate with them. And once you understand that, that simple look becomes something much deeper. Let's start with one of the most important reasons. Keep watching if you really care about your dog and subscribe. Your dog is reading you. Dogs are incredibly tuned into humans. More than almost any other animal. They observe us. They study us. They pay attention to our smallest movements. Because in his mind, those actions mean something. They predict what comes next. A walk, food, playtime. So, when your dog stares at you, he might not be staring at you. He might be watching for information. Subscribe right now and keep watching. This is very important. Trying to figure out what happens next, because his world is connected to yours. Your behavior shapes his day, and over time, he learns your patterns. He learns your routines. He learns you. But there's another reason. Keep watching and pay attention, because the next info will improve the connection you have with your dog. Don't go anywhere, because this matters. Sometimes your dog is waiting for direction, especially if he's been trained. Dogs that learn through rewards, through positive reinforcement, become very attentive. They look at you, waiting for a signal, a cue, because to them, eye contact can mean opportunity, a chance to earn something, a treat, a toy. So that stare is not passive, it's active, it's focused. It's your dog saying, I'm ready. I'm paying attention. What do you want me to do? But not all stares are about learning. Some are much simpler. Your dog wants something, and staring is his way of asking. Dogs don't use words. They use behavior, and staring is one of the clearest signals they have. If your dog sits near the door and looks at you, he might need to go outside. If you're eating and he watches you closely, he might want food. Don't go anywhere, because this really matters. If you're busy and he stares quietly, he might be asking for attention. It's like a silent tap on the shoulder, a way of saying, hey, don't forget me. And here's something important. Dogs learn what works. Don't forget to subscribe. If your dog stares at you and you respond, you've just taught him something. You've taught him that staring gets results. That's why some dogs stare more than others, because at some point, that behavior was rewarded. Don't go anywhere, because this really matters. Sometimes, that stare becomes very effective, especially when it comes to food. Many dogs learn to stare during meals, quietly, patiently, waiting, because eventually, someone gives in, a small bite, a quick snack, and just like that, the behavior is reinforced. Your dog has learned a new strategy. Not barking, not jumping, just staring. And it works. But staring isn't always about getting something. Sometimes, it's about expressing emotion. Because dogs use eye contact to communicate how they feel. A soft, relaxed gaze can mean affection, connection, trust. It's your dog looking at you, the same way humans look at someone they love. In fact, when dogs and humans look into each other's eyes, something powerful happens. A hormone called oxytocin is released, often known as the love hormone. It's the same chemical involved in bonding between parents and children, and it flows both ways, from you to your dog, and from your dog to you. That's why those moments feel different, calm, quiet, meaningful, because in that moment, you're not just looking at each other, you're connecting. But not all stares are friendly, and this is something many people misunderstand. In the animal world, a hard stare can mean something very different, especially when combined with body tension. If your dog is stiff and blinking, serious, keep watching if you really care about your dog and subscribe. That stare may be a warning, a sign of discomfort, or even a signal to back away. This can happen when a dog is guarding something, like food, a toy, or a space. And in those moments, eye contact is not bonding. It's communication of a different kind, a boundary, a message that says, "Give me space." That's why it's important, not just to look at the eyes, but to read the whole body, because the meaning changes depending on how your dog feels. Please subscribe. This really helps the channel. There's also something else to consider. Your dog's focus. A dog that looks at you is a dog that is engaged, connected, paying attention. And this is incredibly valuable, because a focused dog is easier to train, less distracted, more responsive. That's why trainers often teach commands like, "Look at me," or "Watch me," because that eye contact becomes a tool, a way to guide behavior, to build communication, to strengthen teamwork, especially in activities like obedience training or dog sports, where attention matters. In those moments, that stare becomes an advantage, not something to question, but something to use. So the next time your dog looks at you, don't just wonder why. Observe, look closer, because that stare isn't empty. It's information, it's communication, it's connection. Maybe your dog is waiting, maybe he's asking, maybe he's learning, maybe he's loving, or maybe he's simply sharing a moment with you. Because in the end, dogs don't need words. They don't need complex language. Sometimes all they need is a look. And once you understand that look, you begin to understand your dog. Not just what he wants, but how he sees you. Because to him, the world isn't complicated. It isn't full of titles, deadlines, or expectations. It's made of moments, feelings, presence. And in those moments, you are at the center of it all. When he watches you, he's not just waiting for a command. He's reading you. Your tone, your posture, your energy, even the quiet shifts you don't realize you're making. He notices when your shoulders drop after a long day. He notices when your voice softens. He notices when something feels off, even if you say nothing at all. And still, he stays. Not because he needs something, but because you are something to him. You're not just the one who fills his bowl, or opens the door, or throws the ball. You're his reference point, his sense of safety, his understanding of how the world works. And in his eyes, you're not just a person. You're his guide. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this video.